Buffalo Bills. Okay. They let go a lot of their team. And since I only got you for 4 more minutes, I want to ask you about the Stefon Diggs trade. I got it on the rundown later, but I want to ask you about it right now. Who Who won the Stefon Diggs trade? Did the Bills win or the Texans win, and why?
Oh, I mean, in my opinion, I think the Texans are big winners in this. They surprised a lot of people last year, which, if you were to look back on some of my appearances on the pods last year, after the draft, I said the Texans would make the playoffs, and they sure did. So I think this is a huge step. You get yourself, and understandably, some people may consider him a diva. Some people, will look back to the I don't want to say the missteps or just, him being vocal about his role in Buffalo. But in a way, I think that's going to be a good fit down there in Houston. You have a young quarterback who's tasted some success. You've got a young team. You've got a no nonsense head coach. I think that in Houston, he'll be viewed more as the veteran who demands success.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think it's a great, great deal for the Texans. You've got yourself a superstar wide receiver.
Hmm.
He's obviously talented. There's no doubting that. And I just think that maybe, sometimes we've all been there. Sometimes it's just time to move on. You know,
Right.
there was a good relationship while it lasted there, a little rocky at the end, but sometimes, it's just time to move on. And I think it was time for him to move on from Buffalo. And I think we're going to see the best version of him again in Houston. I
Right.
think it's a huge huge win for Houston in my opinion. I don't think it's necessarily a terrible loss. I mean, it's a big loss for Buffalo, but I think that it was time. It also gives them some cap room there to play with. Now, they have a chance to bring in a younger receiver, someone that they could build that connection with Josh Allen. And it's not like Buffalo doesn't have weapons. We've seen Buffalo.
Right.
I still think I don't think this necessarily closes Buffalo's window, if you will. I think Buffalo will still be dangerous this year. I still see them as a playoff team, someone to definitely think about in January in the AFC. But I think this is a big deal for Houston, huge pickup, and I think it's going to help make that young Texans team that's now got a year of playoff experience, someone to really, really look at when you're looking at the AFC playoff picture. I think they added a star receiver, a veteran to help a young group, a young quarterback out, and just a young group in general. I think this is huge for the Texans, and I think they're off to the races, man.
All right. All right. Yo, bro, you killed it, bro. Look, so with that all being said, I like. Do you think that why would they let go of a Stephon Diggs though, bro? Why would they let him go?
Well, you
Why
could
would they
see.
let go of Stephon Diggs? Do you think he's going to be a cancer down there, or do you, what? Like what? I mean, and this purely us just speculating our opinion of what's going on. Beautiful, beautiful take that you just gave on the Texans and everything, and that's a different way to look at things. We talked about this last night a little bit, and we believe that he's going to be a cancer down there. But like I said, he only got 1 year down there, and they only have him for a 1 year trade, a 1 year deal or whatever. Then if it doesn't work out, um, but you just gave me another way of looking at things, and that's why I like having these conversations and these tough conversations. But just to sum it up before you get on up out of here, do you think that Stephon Diggs will be a cancer down there or cause problems down there or anything? Do you think that he'll do anything like that?
Uh, I don't think so.
Okay.
You know what? I think absolutely not. And I don't think he was necessarily a cancer in Buffalo, man. I think Stefon Diggs wants to win, and Stefon
Okay.
Diggs believes in his abilities to be the guy. Um, and I think he has the physical tools. I think mentally he prepares himself. He's not out of shape. He hasn't lost a step or anything like that. I just think that sometimes, in a relationship, sometimes it's just time for people to part. And I just think that him and Josh Allen relationship, I think it was just at the point where it was time for a breakup. You know,
Okay.
I think that as far as him being a cancer down in Houston, I don't see it. I think he'll be the complete opposite. I think he'll be a reliable pair of veteran hands that'll really be able to help the young line and the young quarterback in some key moments. So I don't think he'll be a cancer at all. And let's say I'm completely wrong. Like you said, it's a 1 year rental. They're
Hmm.
basically dating each other for a year right now. They're going to go on 16 dates and they're going to see how it goes. If everything goes great, and then they can work on an extension or re-signing him. And if things
Hmm.
don't go well, let's say he spends a year injured there, or he's causing all kinds of drama, which I don't see, but let's see that happens. Then you've got yourself a clean split, and all you did was, yes, you gave up a second round pick, but you gave up a second round pick for a chance to make a deep playoff run and maybe even be a Super Bowl contender. So I
Right.
think it's a risk that was worth taking, and I think it's a risk that's going to pay off, and I think we see the Diggs partnership down there in Houston for a long time to come.
Yeah. All right. Look, I like that. So, or do you still got to ride out at 10:30? Still got to go
Yeah,
ahead
yeah.
and.
I'll give you a couple. I can give you a couple extra minutes here, man. We'll keep it going for a little bit.
Oh, all right, all right. I mean, you said you had to go ahead and dip at 10:30. So, I mean,
Got about 3 more minutes, so
there's no, but Otto, there's no like, why would Buffalo give up a Stefon Diggs? Like, there
well,
got to be something there, bro. There got to be
no,
something there
well,
to
let
for
me
them to
ask
just
you
let
this.
a Stefon Diggs go. And this is an ongoing thing. Like his production has dropped, right? So to me, Buffalo wins this because his production dropped. He dropped a wide open clutch touchdown in the playoffs that could have won the game. His production, like I said, and I keep repeating that, but it went down. There's something going on. I don't know what exactly that is or whatever, but there's something going on with him to let for Buffalo to say, okay, we want to part ways with them. Buffalo's fans are some of the most, they are crazy. They jump through tables and with elbows, WrestleMania style, and all that. You know what I'm saying? But like I really I don't see, and I spent some time living up in that area. So for him to be out of Buffalo, and that's a tough city, by the way, too. For him to be out of there, bro, there has to be more to that. There has to be some more to that, and to go down to the Texans. I hope that everything you just said here on the morning after with no plan B, baby, that he goes down there and he performs well and he does not put on the fake good boy act, and he really goes down there and be a true professional to those younger receivers down there. He's able to show them what he's learned in the NFL. Be a great receiver for CJ Stroud, because in my opinion, they could have picked up somebody out of the draft just to come and particularly, I think they should go tight end. I think they could go get another tight end, add with Schultz down there and Tank Dell and Nico Collins. Stefon Diggs, he's a route runner. He doesn't have he doesn't have, over the top speed, but he's elite route runner in the NFL. And I just really hope that he don't go down there and do that. But there's a reason why they let him go for. And they did get a big second round pickup out of him, but there's a reason why they cut ties with him and took the biggest cap hit from a non quarterback in NFL history to date. That is the biggest cap hit anybody's took for a non quarterback in the NFL. Like, there's a reason Buffalo said you ain't just chalking that up. That's a pretty good organization when it comes to money and them spending it on players. But for them to take that cap hit, like, all right, we're gonna chalk it up. Sort of like, the Broncos cutting ways with Russell Wilson. I'm glad they did. And maybe we'll get some good production out of them. But there got to be something there, man. There has to be something there, attitude wise and everything else. I like what you said. Um, I disagree, but that's why we were able to have these conversations. And you did give me insight on a different way to look at the situation. And that's why I love these conversations. That's why I like doing this, because now you give me another way, and somebody else that's standing on the other side of the fence, you gave them another way of looking at it, and I'm also telling you why I feel that way about, what I'm saying, the whole situation. But do the Bills lose though? That's the big thing. Do the Buffalo Bills, where do they go from here though, bro? Like, where do they go now? Where do the